I'd like to read a couple things. One of them is about a couple down here named Glenn and Bessie Hyde. And they, you might have heard a little bit about them. They were doing a honeymoon trip down through here. She was going to be the first woman down through the Grand Canyon. And so this is called the Honeymoon Ride. It says, in the year of 1928, there was a river trip based on fate. It started up on the green, down rivers and canyons they had never seen. Their names were Glenn and Bessie Hyde, on their beautiful honeymoon ride. Glenn built a scow with his hands, strong enough to run the Grand. He left the land that they both knew, and that beautiful scow built for two. They made it down from the green, through rapids and currents they had never seen. Their days were long and their nights were clear, for soon that would change with winter near. They finally floated into the Grand, running rapids bigger than they had ever planned. The river would toss and turn the boat, yet somehow the old scow would stay afloat. Finally they made it to Bright Angel Trail, hiking up to the rim to check for mail. They dined with Emery Kolb and his family that night. He offered them life jackets, but they put up a fight. Glenn told the Kolbs they were both great swimmers, after which Glenn and Bessie thanked them for a wonderful dinner. At morning's first light, they hiked back into the Grand, saying goodbye to the civilized land. As they loaded up the scow and pushed off from shore, little did they know they would be seen no more. As days turned to weeks, Glenn's father did wait, only to wonder what was his son's and Bessie's fate. He started his search through this canyon so grand, looking for his family in this dangerous river and desert land. After days of searching, the Hyde scow was found, but to Glenn's father's dismay, they were nowhere around. The scow was located below Rapid 232. As for Glenn and Bessie Hyde, nobody knew. Their last known location, soon we would learn, was in a cabin that caught fire and burned. There are lots of theories as to their plight, for the search still goes on with Glenn and Bessie nowhere in sight. Some say she killed them, and some say they drowned. The search still goes on until they are found. Now, I know I have my thoughts, and you all have yours, as to what really happened in the Grand with Glenn at the oars. The river trip was based on fate. What happened to them, nobody knows, not even to this day. Their names are Glenn and Bessie Hyde, and they never did finish their beautiful honeymoon ride. Her middle name was Bessie. When she passed away, they found their marriage certificate in her lingerie drawer. But they did a lot of investigating. She had different color eyes, a little bit different height. Color contact. Because Georgie came onto the scene at about the right time for Bessie to have been missing long enough to come back. Some people think maybe she did kill him. Maybe he was abusive to her. Maybe the Kolbs cut the rope to their scow that was hanging in the bottom of the river too soon without trying to really pull and find out what or who was at the bottom of the river holding on to the rope. Maybe it was attached to a rock. Maybe it was attached to Glenn and or Bessie. Some people think they were scouting Rapid 232. Glenn was scouting. Bessie's holding on to this scow. It's built like a giant coffin. It's like basically a horse trough, water trough, and big, huge 60-pound oar on the bow and stern, moves it side to side, not downstream. And maybe she was holding on, a little 85, 90-pound girl holding on to a 2,500-pound boat. Wind picks up, out into the current, tries to pull it to shore. Maybe Glenn swims after her. Both of them go downstream. Because when they found the scow, they found her diary, they found her photos, they found it looking perfectly normal. So, maybe she killed them.
Life jackets would have gone over well.
Yes, they would have. There was a gun there too, yeah. And there's one more thing I'd like